Hey guys, Scott here. Apparently, we do have to talk about this. I made a video about this yesterday, and I just sort of joked around saying it was such a nothing conversation that there's no point, because I feel like everyone would agree. Apparently, it's not the case. I'm reading a bunch of replies to this tweet. There are a lot of people that either just don't understand what I'm saying, or I think are missing a key component of this whole argument. So this whole thing is about a streamer named Momo7th who got a 1,000 kill streak as Blight, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I and a lot of other people said the game really shouldn't be in a spot where that should ever be possible, regardless of how good they are. You should pretty much never be able to win 1,000 games in a row. Think of any other game in existence, and you can't really think of anyone going on 1,000 victory streaks. It just doesn't happen. So DBD probably has something wrong with it. And I think there were two ways of interpreting that. One of the main ways that people misinterpreted that, here, like the first one, he's a top 3 Blight player. If the survivors don't play better, then they shouldn't win. And I think what I'm saying is that the game fundamentally shouldn't allow this type of scenario to happen. What they're saying is, in the current version of the game, that should be possible. And I agree with that. We're just having two separate arguments at this point. So I think that's the first misunderstanding that I've had with a lot of people there. So I'm saying fundamentally the game shouldn't allow that. They're saying in the current version of the game, it should. Which, yeah, if you're better than them in the version of this game that exists, yeah, that's absolutely, I agree. But another, I guess, main central counter argument is sort of this whole thing. If you're better than the opposition, then you deserve to win. End of discussion. That whole thing. And that's, I think, what I want to talk about. So the whole if you are better than the opposition, you deserve to win statement is true. That's how a good balanced game would work. If one team is better than the other team, the better team should win, 99 out of 100 times, bearing some, acts of God or some monumental fuck-ups or things like that. Then yes, that is how that should work. The problem is Dead by Daylight is an asymmetric game, and this is the thing that people keep missing with this whole argument. It's an asymmetric game with wildly variant levels of balance. It's just all over the place. And so the whole thing is you should not be able to even get into the scenario, even if you are significantly better than everyone you go against. Now, I'm not even going to discuss the matchmaking not being good, because we know it's not. Obviously, the streamer is going to be better than, 999 out of 100 or 1,000 players that he goes against. But the problem is that comparison in itself, because now we're comparing his skill at Blight to the survivor's skill at surviving. And then when you think about it like that, we're comparing just different things at that point. And then it becomes sort of a weird thing to say, well, he's just better than them. Well, when you say that, you ignore every single variable that, led to the outcome of that match. For example, let's reverse it. Let's say he did the exact same streak on Trapper. He tried to get 1,000 wins in a row with Trapper. Obviously, he's not going to be able to do that. I don't care if he's the best player in the world. Trapper does not have the tools to enable you to do that. And so if you keep the same level of logic where you'd have to say, well, I guess the survivors were better than him. He wasn't able to do it. They were better than him. They won. So the survivors deserve to win. When you think about it like that, that's ridiculous, because obviously they're not better than him. The tools that they brought in were stronger than the tools that the killer brought in that time. And so that's the whole problem with this argument. You ignore every variable of how we got to the outcome of a match. And that's, I think, why this whole thing sort of falls flat. So there are really only a couple of outliers here. For example, the only killers that have ever really done this are Nurse and Blight. That's pretty much it. So I think those are the only ones that need to be brought down a little. And even with like Blight, it's not Blight itself. It's just the add-ons of Blight. Just Algorand, Compound 33, Blight tags, speed add-ons, things like that. Blight's add-ons, for some reason, have been so strong for so long that it just blows my mind. I don't know how they're still like that. They're nerfing things like Marvin's Blood, they're nerfing Hillbilly, they're nerfing Pig, and Blight somehow just matrix dodges every single one of these nerfs, and I don't understand how, because his add-ons are so much stronger than every other killers in the game, and it's been like that for years and years and years, and I don't understand how it's still been like that. And Nurse is Nurse. He just ignores, walls, and Nurse is Nurse. So I think those two killers are outliers. And I know when I say this, people are going to twist it around and go, okay, what about people going on insane escape streaks as Survivor? They bring in their 4-man comp squad and they just stomp a bunch of games in a row there. My counter argument would be, I've never seen an 1,000 escape streak of Survivor. Have you? I don't think it's ever happened. I think I've seen like half of that, maybe. In all of the years of Dead by Daylight, even when Survivor used to be significantly stronger, I've still never seen anyone come close to an 1,000 escape streak. So to me, we have survivors that are here. They're not able to ever come close to that. And we have Nurse and Blight that are up here that are able to do that. I don't know. That just seems like simple logic that perhaps these things should be here. And that's it. All I'm saying is Dead by Daylight needs to go from here to here, just to here. So that means at the same time, we need to make Trapper not so embarrassingly bad so they have a bit more of a chance to do this kind of thing. And Nurse and Blight, for example, need to not be able to do what they can do. And so things are a bit more equal. And that's it. That's really all I'm saying. It's just Nurse and Blight. I don't really think I have a problem with like any other killer in the game in terms of being wildly overpowered or anything like that. Now, there's a bunch of problems with killers because they're just incredibly boring, but if we're talking about sheer balance and strength and ease of winning, it's just Nurse and Blight that are the outliers. And even with Blight, it's just his add-ons that are the outliers. So I think that should not be a possible thing. You should not be able to win 1,000 times in a row, even if you are better than everyone, because the tools you are bringing in are disproportionately strong to the things being brought into the match almost every single time. There's a reason why even in like comp and stuff like that, half of Blight's add-ons are banned because they're just so ridiculous that it just shouldn't be like that. Now, I'm pretty sure he only used double speed add-ons every time, and maybe I'm in a weird boat here, but I think double speed is kind of ridiculous too. I'm not even sure if it's working correctly. It seems like it's making you go faster than it actually should, but anyway, that's my whole point. The whole point is that the whole argument of if you're better than the other team, you deserve to win doesn't necessarily apply to Dead by Daylight because of the massive variance of strength that the people can bring in every match. And my whole point by saying that this shouldn't be possible is we shouldn't have these outliers like Nurse and Blight that are able to do this. Again, even if the player is vastly better than everyone, you should still not have such insane tools to bring into the match every single time. Matchmaking is a whole separate discussion. Obviously, that's stupid too. But I guess that's really all I want to talk about there. So, bye.